It's a quiet day in the French countryside. Sunflowers are shedding their seeds on the soil. The sun still sits below the horizon line, yet I already feel its warmth hugging me. Haven't we all been through so much this summer? Too many forests were set on fire here. Trees and animals burnt to ashes. The thriving of summer left me weary. The rare sound of raindrops hitting the window feels like a rebirth. Around the corner, the autumnal equinox, like the falling leaves from the trees, life must now take a new course by shedding off the old to usher in the new. This season is about letting go of self-control. We are invited to integrate and accept all the changes that recently occurred in our lives, in ourselves. It's time to look inward. As a kid, I never went on holidays because Dad was hustling every day of the week. I used to blame him for being absent. Today, I treasure and admire my dad. He was an orphan, unloved and uncared for. He had no one to turn to. He lived in a shed and made a few pennies knocking on people's door to sell brioche. His purpose to have a better life had grown so big within him that a fire awakened behind his ribs. He knew he deserved better than misery. Determination, perseverance, focus brought him where he is today. A strong and big-hearted man at the head of a successful company. He came into this world with so much pain to deal with, just like an alchemist turns lead into gold. My dad turned his pain into power.
Tiens. Oh, c'est délicieux ça.
I always had this feeling somewhere between my soul and my bones that I will follow in my father's steps. It's the second summer I spent as a self-employed woman. My heart rejoices not to be affected by peer pressure. Each day I breathe. I lean back in my chair to organize my day of work. Balance is finally a feeling I'm getting to know. Balance between my values and my goals. For the past year, my mind was set for success. Me too, I was about to be financially free. But a few months back, my life took a turn I didn't expect. All at once, I forgot to breathe. Heaviness had then spread in all parts of my chest. What have I done? How could I let this happen? The red flag was hoisted. I was broke. My ego went to war with my heart. They both fought to avoid regrets. I was agonizing over this dilemma: go and get an okay job to survive in this country, or say my goodbyes to snowy landscapes, backtrack to my motherland, and live a paralyzed life with no expenses, all that being tied to someone's apron strings. I've been poor in the past, but this time was different. That very day, I gave voice to my choice. I refused the daily grind. I leave the vicious employee circle forever and ever. Come rain or shine, no matter the cost, I will not return. At the end of my rope, with a numb heart and no plan in mind, I packed my bags and left Sweden. So, this is me, 27 years old. I quit the corporate world to live a meaningful life in connection with nature. And I messed up. For the past 6 months, I've been here and there, backward and forward, living for free under people's roof. My solitary life, my freedom, I saw them both fly off the map. As an introvert, stepping into an extroverted place is like walking on a minefield. My stomach flutters. I don't know where to stand. I just panic. As I pushed that door to enter my new, very social life, my creativity went out the window. My power dropped 6 feet under. I was losing myself. From that day, time seemed to slow down. I took refuge so deep in my thoughts, I no longer knew how to engage with the real world. Living with people is not for me, so I just shut down. All I wanted was to escape that vicious employment circle, yet I find myself in a brand new one. I need to rise this business back up so I can quickly fill my pockets and regain my freedom. But on the other hand, I'm trapped in a social environment depleting me. There is no fuel left in my tank, and I'm failing at every attempt to be productive. For the first time in my life, I lost the handle. I was failing and saw no option to rise again. Time went by and another morning came. As I was staring at the window, I saw something, like a sign from the universe. This marvelous white bird was standing right there on the pond, gazing at the water in stillness, in silence. I was fascinated to notice how much patience this independent bird had. The heron is this strong, focused bird. He prefers to be alone, and that day he was there to tell me how to do the same, to liberate myself, to embrace my need for independency, to trust in my money-making skills. He told me to transform into my own hero. I gathered my strength, I spread my wings, and I flew.
There's a part of me that wants to apologize for being so dramatic and for appearing like someone quite focused on the negative side of things. But this is who I am. I'm not gonna pretend that this is otherwise, because this is me. This is how I feel. It's my story. I've learned not to flee from my negative emotions. I know we were all taught to focus on the positive, but to me, the shadow, the dark and the negative, it's as important and as valuable as the positive. I really learn a lot in embracing my lowness, in embracing my flaws, my weaknesses, and just as importantly, I really deeply care about staying authentic to you, to my audience. I don't want to spend my life pretending to be someone I'm not, and I'm getting a little emotional tonight because I know that you will agree when I say that life is everything but easy. A few months ago, I had lost everything, my independence, my money, and my dignity. I still wonder what happened to me. How could I hit rock bottom and just contemplate myself in my own misery? I'm reclaiming my power once again. And I'm really focusing on healing my relationship with money these days, because I realized that actually was the only thing that I needed to change. Not my work, not my goals, not myself. Just how I consider money and how I see money in my life. And my perception of money was everything but healthy. Believe it or not, since I'm working on it and focusing on manifesting money into my life, money started to flow again. It's just crazy how manifestation actually works. What I do is that I visualize myself already having money. I know it sounds just so easy and pretty crazy and whatever. It doesn't matter. What I do is that I visualize myself having money. I'm just pretending in my mind that I'm already richer. And I do that a lot. I do that many times a day. And it's working. It's really working. And I'm really, really so amazed each time I see money flowing into my life, and it's coming from places I would have never expected. And it is really working. It really is working, and that's why I wanted to share this with you. It's because you don't need to have any skills, you don't need to be perfect, or you don't need to work endless hours a day to make more money and to afford a living. Call it the law of attraction, manifestation, the universe, whatever. All it is just me, you, being able to break boundaries in the mind, to break those limitations that we put on ourselves and that we were taught. Everything is possible, and you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to work endless hours a day to start creating your dream life. You really don't need that. All you need is to believe in yourself. And I really, really mean this. I know it sounds so easy and so, alright, yeah, you just need to believe in yourself. But really, you just need to believe in yourself. I got it now. I understand why I had to experience failure. It was just there for me to learn believing in myself, to dare and fight for my dreams, and above all else, to show you that you can do the same. I am far from being rich, and I still don't have a place I can call home, but something is preparing. It's coming very soon.
No matter how many times you had to endure pain, you are made of flame and ashes. You are a phoenix. You weep, you burn, you die, and you rise. Your heart deserves to bloom again.